Child labor has many forms, among which child scavenging is termed as the most hazardous form. 1 in every 7 children worldwide goes to work. In Pakistan alone, millions of children are trapped in this vicious cycle. No survey has been conducted after the warrant in 1996, carried out by the Federal Bureau of Statistics. However, the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan estimated the staggering number of child laborers working in Pakistan to be around 11 to 12 million in the year 2005. This is Bata Chowk, garbage dump, where hundreds of children are busy scavenging to earn a living. Spread over a vast area, this dump comprises of tons and tons of smoldering refuse. A constant flow of trucks from the streets and towns of Rawalpindi and Islamabad come to dump waste of all sorts here. Hundreds of families have come to settle, live, and work in this area that doesn't even officially exist. The first victims of this situation are the children who work unprotected with their bare hands in these hazardous conditions. Dr. Usman Raza works at National Institute of Health. He has specialized in hospital waste management from Harvard University in the USA. He expresses his concern about the severe health risks of these child scavengers.
There are two main categories of the waste that is coming out of a hospital. One is the general waste, which is not of much concern. It's just like the waste coming out of a house or a non-healthcare place. But then there is the biomedical risk waste, which is what we are really concerned about, and that is usually infectious waste. In case of Pakistan, and when we are talking about street children, we are really concerned with sharps. And this means needles, syringes, and knives used in surgeries, things like that. There are many different hazards, including infections, number one. And then there are hazards, environmental hazards, because there are certain chemicals in these wastes.
Some children are as young as 7 or 8. Crawling in the mountain of rubbish, their condition is exceedingly appalling. Dressed in worn-out clothes, they have fewer comforts and empty stomachs. Dr. Asghar Ali Shah teaches psychology at International Islamic University, Islamabad, and he talks of a sense of deprivation amongst the scavenger kids.
When these children see the other children of their same age, of their same sect, going to school wearing clear and clean clothes, etc., etc., so definitely they will suffer in some sort of inferiority, that why they are not going to school, why they are not involved in some sort of activities. And there are several other psychological dramas regarding these children, especially child abuse, sexual child abuse. Second thing is physically, the little child of 11, 12 years old or so like that, he is not able physically to move the whole day to collect some sort of things and then to bring it. It's a physically hazardous job, basically.
When a truck carrying waste arrives at the site, they rush towards it to start their work that could eventually earn them some bread. These children should be in school, but unfortunately, they have never seen the inside of a classroom. Ibrahim is amongst those child scavengers who wish to go to school and study, but he is compelled by poor circumstances. He has to work to feed his family. He narrates his pitiful story to us.
मेरा नाम इब्राहिम है, मेरा 12 साल उम्र है। मैं सुबह 8 बजे कबाड़ पे आ जाता हूँ, फिर कबाड़ चुन के अड्डी चुनता हूँ, कैच चुनता हूँ, टीका चुनता हूँ, कागज़ चुनता हूँ, पॉलिस्टर चुनता हूँ, स्कूल जाने को दिल होता है लेकिन पैसा नहीं है, क्या करें। 3 टाइम का पैसे, 3 टाइम का रोटी ही नहीं मिलता है, तो क्या करें।
For Ibrahim and many others, this cycle of poverty is hard to break. With no other breadwinner to support their families, these children end up as scavengers in this dump. Ms. Tahira Abdullah is a leading human rights activist. She expresses her discontent with the grim state of child rights in Pakistan and utter negligence of the government.
Child labor in Pakistan is pervasive despite being illegal and unconstitutional. There are provisions in our constitution and our laws that prevent child labor. First of all, we have to raise awareness. A lot of people are ignorant of the issues, or they ignore the issues. Even if they are not ignorant, they just don't think this is an important issue and they don't pay much attention to it.
Ismat is another child scavenger who makes a living out of this dump. He arrives in the morning with an empty sack on his shoulder to be filled with the hazardous hospital waste. As the truck carrying waste arrives, Ismat mounts it to unload the garbage bags. He tears the bags one by one and comes across harmful waste matter, including used needles and syringes. The smell at this place is indescribable. It makes your stomach churn and pinches the back of your throat. One wonders how these children endure this kind of environment. Unconscious of the filth and bad odor pervasive all around, Ismat continues collecting hospital waste with his bare hands, unaware of the fact that a single prick of an infected syringe could cause him a disease as fatal as HIV and AIDS. As Ismat fills up his sack and moves on to sell the collected items, we strike into a conversation with him. He narrates his gruesome story in a somber voice.
ما 12 کاله عمر ده او بس څه وکړو پیسې را سره نشته پلار مې بوډا ده څه وکړو سکول ته وسه نه کېږي پیسې نشته هڅه دې وکړو کور کې ولګېږي.
During our conversation, he revealed a horrible incident of scavenging. He showed us his wrist, which has a deep wound that got inflicted one day while he was collecting used syringes.
If they get infected with hepatitis B or C or HIV contaminated syringe, they will get the infection. The chance is not 100%, it's a probability. So if somebody gets infected with a contaminated needle, for hepatitis B, the chance is very high, say 30%. For hepatitis C, it's about 1.8%. And for HIV, it's less than 1% chance. But still, it's a major problem. So even a less than 1% chance is not something we can accept.
After a hard day's work, filling up his bag with hospital waste, Ismat mounts it on his frail shoulder and takes it to a scrap dealer, who then buys his day's collection, often for a very low price. This is the place where these scavengers come to sell all sorts of recyclable products. Outside this place, Ismat sits down and sorts out his waste material. After sorting out the waste material for ease of selling, Ismat picks up his bag and moves in to deal with the scrap dealer.
ګوره دې خواته وګوره 4 کیلو ده که نه او دې خواته ګوره بیا څه دی 4 کیلو ده.
This is Ajmal Khan, who buys the waste material from these kids. After getting his sack weighed, Ajmal Khan pays him a tiny sum of 200 rupees.
टीका है, ये प्लास्टिक है, बाटा है, दस्ताने है, बोरी है, शापर है, ये सब गरीब लोग हैं. ये उधर से दिन को कम ढूंढता है, 2-3 बजे इधर लाता है, कोई 200, कोई 150, कोई 100 रुपए कमाता है. ये बस यार अफसोस का बात है. छोटे छोटे बच्चे सर्दी में ये उठा रहे, सुबह वो मुफ्ती आता है 6 बजे 7 बजे इधर चुनाई कर रहे हैं, अपने लिए पेट के लिए बस कमाई कर रहे हैं, 200-250 रुपए, 100-150 रुपए. तो क्या करे, गरीब लोग है यार. तो अफसोस मुझे भी लगता है यार, ये लोगों का माँ बाप का किसको बैठा हुआ है जरूर होएगा, स्कूल नहीं पढ़ाता है, बस गरीब माँ अपना मजबूरी वजह से स्कूल इस लोगों से रह गया.
This is all he earns in the end, after 8 hours of consistent scavenging, which may not be enough to buy food for himself and other family members. Childhood is not meant to look like this, but the irony is that without this dump, their future is much bleaker. These little hands are meant to play with toys and not to scavenge waste products. Sadly, these children spend their innocent, playful days of childhood working in this garbage dump. Child labor is illegal in Pakistan, but the law here is rarely enforced. The Constitution demands the protection of children. Despite this, the government officials are utterly unaware of their responsibilities. This is not only the story of Ismat and Ibrahim. In fact, this is the depressing story of millions of other kids who work like this too across the country. Our callous attitude leaves many questions about our collective social responsibility. Humanity demands that we realize what we owe to these unfortunate, innocent kids.